Oh my goddess. Life is so beautiful. I tell you, thank you for receiving that divinely crazy moment of the didgeridoo. Honor, thanks, and praise to the tribal Aborigines of Australia as the tribal vessel through whom the didgeridoo has been brought to this world. And I offer those sound frequencies as a resonance of healing vibration for you and for me and for every being in the whole of existence. I am Astarius Miraculi, loving you so much, loving you with the passion of heaven and honoring the blessedness of life. Welcome to this first day of the rest of your life and this first day of the best of your life. I'm here to remind you of how wonderful you are, how beautiful you are, how juicy you are, how benevolent you are, how safe you are, how ascended you are. And the subject that I bring today is the trust fund of blessings. You know, so many of our blessings are yet in trust for us. It's a trust fund. And our blessings belong to us just as much when they are in trust or in a trust fund as they do belong to us when they come into crystallized manifestation in our hands and in our lives. And one of the things that we must learn to do is to be in appreciation for the blessings that are held in trust for us. The trust fund of blessings. You know, in the Kennedy family, one of the traditions was that when a Kennedy was born, they would inherit $1 million. And that $1 million would go in trust or in a trust fund and would accumulate interest for the whole of the life of that young one until they became an adult. And then they were able to actually receive the trust fund and do whatever it is that they wanted to do with it. And of course, it would have at that time accumulated a tremendous amount of interest. And one is just as rich, you know, or let me put it this way, one who has inherited a fortune are rich even before they collect that fortune. And so it is with you, beloved, with me, and with all of us. And so let us learn to be in a higher appreciation for the trust fund of blessings that exist within our lives. You know, as I said in my poem, Femifestation, one of the lines I say, you know, thoughts and feelings create all forms, and blessings thrive before they are born. So we want to grow in this appreciation for the intangible blessings of our lives that exist in the intangible womb of creation. The greater measure of creation is achieved in a realm that cannot be seen with physical sight. So where are you, beloved, in your appreciation for your trust fund of blessedness? Where the money or the mate or the house or the car is not in your hand as yet, but it's still your trust fund. It still is your belonging. It is held in trust. And it's the same thing like when one receives a trust fund in the material sense, they can't cash in on it until they reach the age of maturity in the chronological sense. And with us, we cannot cash in on our blessings until we reach the age of maturity in the sense of our soul. As we evolve to that place where we are then ready to receive those blessings in such a way that they come into crystallization. So that's something that we want to learn to feel a sense of peace with. I want to share with you an excerpt from my book, Miraculi, Song of Ascension. And this particular selection I call Success and Prosperity. Success is experienced when we have gratitude for the inner and outer accomplishments of our life. It does not matter how much or how little we achieve. If we don't jump for joy about it, we won't feel the emotional mileage. Success happens externally, but can only register internally through self-validation. Even those who have acquired millions but don't celebrate themselves for their accomplishments are in reality poverty-stricken. For example, let's take one who has a tremendous amount of money, but are in a constant state of terror about the possibility of losing that money. Even though they have so much at the material level, they are actually emotionally poverty-stricken. This is one of the ways in which one squanders their wealth at the emotional level. Because richness is something that is reflected within the attitude. If there is not an attitude of richness, there is no genuine richness, no matter how much you actually have in the material sense. There are many poor, rich people and many rich, poor people. The mark of success is in the soul rather than in the bank account. It is good to acquire as much wealth as you can, and hopefully with an open heart, because true wealth is also in sharing. Richness of the inner and outer realm is our God-given birthright. It is important to feel good about all accomplishments, even the small ones. Maximize the minimum, and the minimum will become the maximum. When you have maximum gratitude for your blessings, life gives you more. When you are low in gratitude, life holds back the greater blessings. And so reaching the age of maturity to cash in on our trust fund of blessings have to do with exalted gratitude. When you have great gratitude for even the so-called little bit that you have, then life wells up to just pour out the baptism upon you, and more and more and more blessings are then showered upon you. So we reach that greater age of maturity through exalted gratitude. Gratitude helps to determine our altitude. And so let's be grateful for the blessings that we have that are in the outer realm of crystallization, regardless of whether they are so-called small or large. The greater the gratitude, the greater the flow of blessings. When we give to those who are grateful, we love to continue giving. When we give to those who are ungrateful, sometimes we stop giving. Giving self-credit for accomplishment is equal to loving self. Oh yeah, when you validate yourself for the things that you have achieved in, that is a form of self-love. If you are stingy with self-validation, that is the withhold of self-love. So don't be stingy with your validation of self. Where there is no self-love, failure prevails. Success is in the I am of the beholder. Self-validation is the salary that you pay yourself for doing your life. It is not kind to work for yourself without pay. Many of us owe ourselves a great amount of back pay. So if there is anything that you have withheld self-validation from yourself about, then you can circle back in and offer that validation. It is the salary, self-validation. It is the salary that you pay yourself for doing your life. Be kind to yourself and let the magnitude of your self-loving grow through self-acknowledgement, through self-validation, which also then brings you into greater harmony with your inner child, the infinite possibility thinker within you, the infinite possibility manifester within you. It isn't accidental that the Holy Scripture says, "Lest ye become as a little child, you can't enter the kingdom of heaven." Those are the credentials that you must present in order to be welcomed back into the fold of the heavenly realms. The child carries the resonance of innocence. The child carries the resonance of worthiness. It isn't accidental that the little bitty child's favorite mantra is "mine." Even if it's yours, no, it's mine. They believe that everything belongs to them. And so it is with your inner child. That is that part of you that is infinitely knowing of your worthiness, to therefore become a magnet to attract unto yourself those blessings which have been held as a trust fund for you. It's time to cash in on those blessings, beloveds. Another way to increase success is by feeling happy for others when we see them moving upward. And those who achieve and abundance receive is that part of me in whom I believe. To resent the successful is to resent success itself, which will block our own success. Let us jump for joy about the blessings in everyone's life, and by the grace of God, ride the wings of success together. This is how we experience the soul jump start. My prosperity is your prosperity. Your prosperity is my prosperity, and all prosperity is our prosperity. So when you witness others being greatly abundant, recognize that there is a cellular counterpart in you that is the totality of them as well as their life adventure. And if you feel sacred pride in the abundance that you witness expressed in others' lives, it will then create the soul jumpstart and quicken the abundant flow within your life. There is a oneness of wholeness of blessings. You see, a oneness of wholeness of success. See, the material things are simply the outer manifestation of a frequency of the feeling of abundance. If you don't feel the frequency of abundance, it doesn't matter how much you have in the material sense, you will not resonate to the rhythm of abundance. You can only resonate to the rhythm of abundance by virtue of being in the frequency feeling of abundance. And when you are in the frequency feeling of abundance, it accelerates the manifestation, and the things and the abundance become quickened in manifesting within your life. Sometimes we think of prosperity as my prosperity, your prosperity, his prosperity, her prosperity, etc. However, there is the oneness of the wholeness of being, or just as there is the oneness of the wholeness of being, there is also one great field of abundance, prosperity at large. Each of us utilizes the resources of this great field of abundance based upon our own mastery in the art of success, while at the same time being the heir to it all. To claim our inheritance, we must mature in consciousness. Each denomination of money is an access code to every other denomination of money. Every experience of prosperity, small or great, empowers every other experience of prosperity. $1 is a close relative to $1 billion in the family of currency. When we realize the power of the oneness of the wholeness of prosperity, $1 can be an access code to $1 billion. Just as one cell within the body holds the entire genetic blueprint and can recreate the whole body, the idea behind any sum of money is the micro container of all abundance. Each of us lives as a cell within the cellular makeup of every prosperous being in the universe. Therefore, each of us, by extension, is cellular co-creator and co-receiver of all the prosperity that is, was, or ever will be. In order to jumpstart our individual prosperity, let's choose to feel a personal connection to all of the abundance in the universe and sacred pride in our co-creation of this abundance. The effect of prosperity is a manifest reality. However, the cause of prosperity is a non-material, unmanifested reality. All reality begins as an invisible cause. Prosperity begins as an invisible embryo in the womb of our mind. We are pregnant with all of the prosperity that we will ever manifest. To ensure that we don't miscarry, to ensure that we don't have a miscarriage or abortion of our prosperity, we must appreciate and nurture the invisible embryo of prosperity as much as we would the material prosperity. Then prosperity is born alive, just as in the cashing in on the trust fund. The trust fund is much like the invisible embryo of prosperity. The source of life has impregnated each of us with a seed of infinite worthiness, and it is time to claim our birthright of absolute abundance. All is well in the kingdom of this sacred moment, and life is beautiful, so amazingly beautiful. So open to receive the trust fund of blessings in your life. Grow in your identification with worthiness. And I offer these sacred tones now to further expand your prosperity and mine. I am Astarius Miraculi. I love you so much. My website is astarius.com, ASTARIUS.com. I have amazing treasures there for you, CDs and books, and I'm also a psychic astrologer available for private sessions by phone, by Skype, or in person. I am in the Los Angeles, California area, and you can receive phone numbers and other information in terms of how to get in touch with me directly through my website. And I look forward to serving and empowering you further. Aho, Ashe, Amen, Namaste, Hotep, In Lakesh, Alakin, Shalom, Satnam, Hariom.